What's going on, Cloud Ninja? It's your boy Rakage Omega, and I'm back with another review. Today we're reviewing Marvel's Avengers, the official version, not the beta. Um, it's crazy because there's a lot of things that I said in the review for the beta that still kind of stand. Some things that I've noticed that are kind of on a negative are really things that can be fixed later. There's still glitches. There are glitches that are absolutely out of this world that completely take you out the game. And then there's some minor glitches or whatever that hopefully can get patched up over time. But the main thing I've noticed is that there is a repetitiveness of the game, right? So let's start here. First things first, you go through the campaign, right? Campaign is not bad. The campaign is actually pretty good, and the shortcoming of the campaign is that it's short. I think it took me 10 hours to run through the campaign, if that. And it felt like there wasn't much. Like, the only thing we did was bring the Avengers together. There wasn't, I don't know, it felt like it was lacking. Now, because of DLC characters, and how many potential DLC characters there are, each character comes with a story mission. Even when you finish the game, you finish the campaign, and technically there's still more campaign because each character you have has story missions. And they play out very similarly to how the campaign did, with cutscenes and all of that. Now, by the end of the game cycle, right, whether that be a year from now or 2 years from now or whatever, the campaign will probably be super long. It'll probably be, 20 to 30 hour campaign by then, if you play it all the way through. But unfortunately, that's not the case at launch, which makes me almost feel like I'm getting half a measure of a game, and that's unfortunate. Especially because you could tell these voice actors did a lot. I think they did the motion control stuff, whatever that is, with the dots on their face. I think they did that as well. So you can tell they put a lot of effort into this, and it would have been nice to see more from them, honestly. But campaign's still pretty solid. It's still fun. I thought the voice actors were great. I think Kamala is absolutely charming. She makes you excited to be excited about this game, which is a really dope thing. So then after you finish the campaign, then you kind of get thrown into Warzone, and you can link up with your friends and do a whole bunch of missions. You have these two agents that give you missions once a day, and each of those missions ends with a boss, which is cool. And then you're just progressing and doing that and getting your level up. So the other thing, when you're going through the campaign, the actual amount of stuff you can do with your character or with whatever character you're playing is so minimal because your level's so low. You don't actually feel like a superhero until after the campaign. You feel like just a regular brawler half the time. You got a couple of supers or whatever, but you're not doing that much. When you leave the campaign, when the campaign is done and you can explore and unlock all these different abilities, that's when it's like, oh, that's when the game really opens up. That's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because then it kind of makes you feel like there's longevity on the back end. It's a negative because, well, why couldn't I be a beast during the campaign? Why did I have to be bare bones? And then by the time you start to get a character down, you switch to another character you never had, and bam, well, now they starting at the regular level. So that was unfortunate. Another thing about the campaign that was unfortunate is that I think there's only one Thor mission. I think there's one Thor mission and one mission that you can choose Thor. I think I want to play as certain Avengers. That sucked, man. That really sucked. That really didn't resonate well with me. You know, I don't know. It didn't resonate well with me. So, anyways, you get to Warzone. Um, when you get to Warzone, you're doing your drop zones, you're doing your missions, you're unlocking items, you're unlocking gear, you're getting new abilities, you're upgrading certain abilities, which is the upgrades for certain abilities, especially Thor are crazy, and Iron Man's. Iron Man's are crazy too. So you're unlocking special abilities, and then you start going through each person's individual missions, which is really fun. Those are really fun, and then you get gear for them, so it's pretty dope to do. And then that all kind of stops again. I think it's been a week, and I feel like there's not a mission I haven't done. So even the daily missions, they just cycle through the same mission. The daily missions cycle through. You get the same bosses because, mind you, it's only 6 bosses in the entire game. So you only cycle through the same bosses. There's not, although you have a whole bunch of characters, and this is a comic book universe with a whole bunch of villains. You only got, I think, Taskmaster, Abomination. You have MODOK, but you don't fight MODOK in the war zones so far. And then you got the Spider Warbot, and then you got this little helicarrier Warbot. That's about it. So those missions will always be those villains. There'll be different avenues to get to those villains, but essentially that's all you're gonna get. So that's not really a good thing. That kind of makes me bored. Like, all right, like how many times can I beat Abomination up before I'm tired of whooping his tail? Like, I've been beating Abomination up since the beta, honestly. So, that's pretty unfortunate. Once again, this is something that I feel like in later time, a year from now, if I do like another review, end of game cycle review or something like that, I don't think I'll be saying the same things, hopefully. And maybe because when they add new characters, they'll add a villain with that character, which would be really, really cool, man. Don't just add, heroes, add the villains. That would be so cool. Like if we get, Black Panther and then we get Killmonger or Man Ape or something like that. Oh, that would be dope. So, those are hopeful things. Those are things we wish for, but unfortunately they don't come with the package that you bought. The other negative I have is really still kind of the gear system. I don't so much. I pay attention to the gear system, kind of. When I got towards the end, or really got closer to maxing out the gear system, which I still haven't maxed out the gear system yet, but I'm close. I'm very close to it. And then I started looking at certain things that it was doing. And what I mean by that is it bringing my hero rating down? Is it bringing my physical attack up? Those types of things. I'm not paying attention to the upgrades. So yeah, you can upgrade it. So okay, I can upgrade this one gear piece 10 times. Each time I upgrade it, I get gamma radiation and this, that, and the third. I still don't care. And that's an unfortunate thing, I think, for me. I know there's probably somebody out there who does care, and there's probably a lot of people who do. There's probably a couple of people who do. I don't think anybody who's not an RPG like legitimate list, like that's what they do. I don't think they're caring about this gear system, and that may be by design, but that feels a little odd. I think in a setting where I'm already not getting a physical alteration, I should care about this on a deeper level. Then I'm not getting a physical alteration to my skin, and it can't just be about, this is a level 32 and this is a level 35. What are the intricate things I'm getting in with this package? I should care about that. But unfortunately, I don't. And I do think that's a downfall, because that's part of the longevity. If I don't care about that, then when somebody's like, we got such and such gear and it's so cool. Like, what does it do? Well, it brings me up in points. All right, you know what I'm saying. The only gear that I actually care about is Hank Pym gear, um, and it's specifically because you make people smaller. Making a mech smaller with Hulk and then picking it up and slamming it around is the absolute best thing in the world. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much all my negatives that I can think of off the top of my head. So we'll get into the positives. Positives, man. Once again, story is actually pretty good. The acting and voice acting is pretty good, but it is a reflection of the MCU. Scary. So I saw a comment on Facebook, and somebody was saying they got all of the stunt doubles, and that's essentially what it feels like. Like these are the stunt doubles, and although they're stunt doubles, they do a really good job as stunt doubles. They're really good at their job at being stunt double. But I hear when I listen to Tony, I hear somebody doing an RDJ impersonation. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know how I feel about that. I think originality or maybe sticking closer to the comics would have been good. But also, there's so many subtle hints to the MCU, which is made not just Avengers, but the comic book game so popular in our day and age. It's become part of pop culture, which is pretty crazy. Um, I understand where the market was for that. So, you know, eh. But like I said, the story is pretty good. Kamala Khan is absolutely adorable. She's witty, she's gleeful, and it makes you really enjoy just hearing her banter, hearing her back and forth with other characters, especially when she meets Tony and they have their back and forth moments. It makes me wish, honestly, that the characters talked while you were doing war zones. Like they had little smirky comments the whole time, because it would be amazing to have Kamala Khan, Spider Man, and and Tony all throwing jabs or whatever throughout the whole combat. That would be super awesome. But I don't know if that's something they considered and maybe scrapped, or maybe it just got too distracting. I don't know. But yeah, so the story is really good. Getting to Warzone and unlocking these powers are really, really fun. Really, really cool. My Thor is absolutely crazy for no reason. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do when you're creating the way you want your hero to play. And really, for me, my main thing was like, there's a physical aesthetic to certain moves. And then, okay, here's the physical aesthetic. What else does it do? Is it almost like I'm getting another move? And it kind of is. Like I have Odin Force, which is Thor's ultimate. But when he comes down, it automatically unlocks, and I can't remember the name of the move. But as soon as he hits the ground, all the lightning comes down as if he used the other move. And it gets absolutely chaotic on screen. Frame rate is crazy because it gets chaotic. I'm already doing my thing on a crazy god tier level. Then you got Hulk out here throwing gamma radiation everywhere, which is a thing. It gets really fun. And playing with a squad of people who have their character like maxed out. It just looks like you feel like I came here to destroy somebody. We not playing with nobody, and that's a good feeling when it comes to being a superhero. You don't want to feel like the bad guys can touch you. So, really dope. There's a lot of lore in this. There's a lot of little hints in this to movies and to comic books, which is really, really cool. And that makes me feel happy as a comic book head, because I do feel like I can look at something and go, hey, that reminds me of this, or hey, I get what y'all did there. that's a fun thing and a really good thing. But the other thing is I really enjoy the costumes we have, although I do feel like there could be more. I'm not sure what the rollout schedule is for new costumes because there has to be more because there's a ton they could be using. So I'm just going to assume that there's more. They're coming soon, right? And also takedowns. You start off with two. You can earn one takedown, and then the other you have to buy. Other two you have to buy. Don't really like that. The what else? Is something else you have to buy. Oh, there are certain skins that you do have to buy. And at first I was like, okay, that doesn't matter. And then I go and look at Hulk and Gladiator armor, and the only way to get him is to buy him. I don't really like that. I think that's kind of messed up. And I feel like I really wish they didn't go that route. I wish it could have all been earnable, or maybe it all been, suggestive. Hey, you either buy it or you don't buy it and you earn it, or you don't get it. Same with the takedowns. I think they could have done that, realizing that two takedowns for every single character are locked away unless you pay money, and then they got to be the dopest takedowns. It kind of hurts, man. It's kind of a blow, and then to think like, okay, this marketplace is gonna not just upgrade when new characters comes out, but it's gonna upgrade probably over time. You can't just keep the same things in the marketplace. So is this gonna be a continuous thing? Are we gonna continuously have to buy takedowns with actual money? Yeah, it kind of sucks, man. So I don't know. Like, I'm so iffy. It's like every time I say something good about this game, I have to say something negative. But the negative things don't really break the game, and I think that's a good thing. The negative things feel like they can be fixed. And all in all, at the current moment, a week later, I'm having a blast. I'm not wary of the game. I'm looking at the next character I'm trying to max out. And I'm just having so much fun. And that's reassuring, I think, as a player. Fun is the most important aspect of a video game, period. It's not the graphics. It's not, is it technically the best game or technically on point. It's not all of that. It's really, is it fun? And I'm having a blast. And when you get in there with a team full of people, everybody got their powers, and you just in there talking, having a good time. It's a really fun party game. So, yeah, love it. It's probably still at an 8 out of 10. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10 for the beta, and I'm pretty solid on that. It's a good game with flaws. Nowhere near a masterpiece. Nowhere near, groundbreaking. It's a good game. It's something that I'm glad we have, and something that I feel it will probably get better over time. But yeah, that's probably an 8 out of 10. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you rated. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Did you not even try it? Let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got for you guys. Y'all be easy. Peace.